Hey guys, this is No Solution, and I'm Scott, the vinyl community's favorite smut peddler. And I'm back with a VCLT and then just kind of some new pickups. I don't know if anyone had noticed. My last video got age restricted, I guess, for showing the magazines when I was giving examples of acronyms. So I guess I'm a naughty boy. I don't know. That happened to me once before, and I fought it because for some reason I cared, and this time I didn't care. So I don't know. I think you guys, I don't foresee anybody under 18 watching these videos, so I figure we're all adults here, but hopefully it didn't get lost because of that. But anyway, I got a very generous VCLT package from my friend Keith at Attack from Down Under, all the way from New Zealand, so that could not have been cheap. Man, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. He sent me 5 CDs and an extra little bonus that we'll get to after I show the CDs. Sent me a note here. I don't think it's too personal, so I'll read it. Hey Scott, some choice horrible sounds for you to enjoy. A few New Zealand projects and others. If you have any of them, pass them on. Take your time with them. Don't mind if you say they suck. Stay nasty, Keith. So thank you very much, Keith. I did not have any of these, and one of them I was actually thinking of buying. So that was an awesome surprise. So 4 of these are brand new. The first one is Verberis, and they are, or the name of it is the Apophatic Wilderness on Norma Evangelium Diabli. Black metal, I believe, from New Zealand. I did open these already, and I kind of when I cheated. I looked it up because I don't know. I don't like opening the package and just duh. I think it's this. I haven't heard this yet, but I did know. I had heard this of this band. Knew they were black metal, and I looked it up, and they're from New Zealand. So I don't know how much I really even have from New Zealand. So it'd be very cool to check these out. The next one here is Ulcerate with Cutting the Throat of God. Really cool cover there. And same record label. These are brand new, I believe. I think these are both 2024. And another New Zealand project, if I remember correctly, they are more in the death metal vein. I know I've heard the name, and I'm sure I've looked it up at some point, but the years go on and the brain starts deteriorating, and I do not remember. So, but it looks cool. Definitely looking forward to checking it out. Never heard of this one. Definitely had to look this one up. Just One Fix, and it is called Submit or Death. It's an EP, and I can't read the label. Might be self-released. Another New Zealand project. I think this is more the technical death metal side. So yeah, looking forward to that one. And I picked up so many Bob Dylan CDs because they just tend, there's a million of them and they're cheap. I found that's a fun thing about getting into an artist with a huge catalog that's very popular, is their stuff is everywhere and it's usually very cheap. So, but I've not picked this one up. So thank you very much, Keith. Bob Dylan, Fallen Angels. I think this is all covers, and it's fairly recent. I think within the last 10 years or so. But yeah, I'll be looking forward to checking that one out too. I don't talk about it that much anymore because I figure a lot of people who watch this aren't interested. But I'm still really been enjoying the Bob Dylan. I'm up to Street Legal right now, so kind of approaching like the late 70s kind of stuff. Or no, that is the late 70s. I think we're almost to the 80s. And then this one, I've almost bought it a few times, and then it always ends up out of the cart. Keith had talked about this a while ago, and I commented about it. Coffin Storm. This is a project from Fenris, and who are the other dudes? Apollyon from R Noir, and I'm not sure who the other guy is, but I think like more of a Doom traditional metal type project. And I'm guessing Keith didn't like this very much because I'm assuming this is the one he bought. So thank you very much, Keith. I'm very excited to listen to the whole thing of this. I've only heard like clips here and there, so that'll be cool. And one of his videos is about bands that are like Marmite, like something an acquired taste basically. And if you don't know, which I kind of didn't, Marmite is kind of like a meat-based spread. Looks kind of like motor oil. It's very thick and sticky. So I have prepared here a slice of bread with Marmite on it, and I'm going to try it here for you guys right now. He said don't use too much. You need to get used to it, so I just put like a thin layer on there. So, bon appetit. Ooh, that's strong. Quite salty. I'm not spitting it out, so there's that. Oh, I don't know why. Maybe the consistency. I'm just thinking a lot. I'm thinking molasses, but it's not sweet. You're right, Keith. This is an acquired taste. I'm not sure. I'll give it another whirl. Well, cheers to your cuisine. Thank you so much, Keith. That was very nice of you. And then I got some smut here, and then just got some recent pickups to talk about. So I just wanted to show kind of another Playboy thing I've been looking for that I was happy to get here. This is one of their special editions that wasn't part of like the monthly series. Calendar Playmates. So this is, you probably can't tell because it really doesn't look like her. That's Pamela Anderson on the cover. She's kind of recreating the Marilyn Monroe pose from the first issue of Playboy. What's neat about this, there's some old calendars on the back. It is from, I think, 80 to like the early 90s. It's all of the pictures from the Playboy calendars because they did separate photo shoots for those that weren't in the magazine. So if you want to see those pictures, you had to have the calendars, but they're all in this book. They do also have the kind of the covers of all the older calendars, which they'd be cool to check out, but like I'm not going to be hunting down 1960s Playboy calendars for God knows how much money. But yeah, really fun book and fun to flip through. And it's got my girl on the cover, so I was very happy to get it. And then I don't really delve too much into the other like nudie magazines, but these popped up and I couldn't resist. Samantha Fox, take that out of there. Samantha Fox and Gallery. I suspect these are all like page 3 pictures that she had previously done that Gallery just bought, but yep, she's naked in there. And if you are a child of the 80s and early 90s, Samantha Fox was kind of a lot of our dream girls, so that was fun to get. And then there's another one here, which she's basically just on the cover, and there's a couple pictures inside, but happy to get those. Those are for you, Anthony Gambler 812. And all right, let's get into the newer stuff I picked up here. Just came out, the Blue Oyster Cult, the second night of their run in New York City. The saying here, it was 2022, I believe, where they did 3 nights in a row, and each night they did the first 3 albums, respectively. So this one they did Tyranny and Mutation in the first set, and then a whole nother set after that. Really cool because a lot of these songs don't ever get played besides Hot Rails to Hell. So it's cool to hear them do all those. And the second set is kind of some deep cuts. And then, there's the songs, of course, they have to play every time. Godzilla's on here, Burning for You, Don't Fear the Reaper, Cities on Flame. But they do really mix it up. And there's really not a lot of crossover from the first night where they did their debut album and then a second set after that. They do, those classics they play, and a couple of the songs from the latest album they do repeat. But yeah, if you're a Blue Oyster Cult fan, I definitely recommend it. And I do like these covers, how they are kind of like reimaginings of the original covers of the albums. So I have 1 and 2 now, and when part 3 comes out, I'll definitely be getting it. This was a Iron Maiden live album that I was missing. I think when it came out, I was like, fucking, do I need another Iron Maiden live album? And this is from the Final Frontier, which kind of nobody liked. But as you can see, it showed up for $6. For $6, I was like, yeah, I'll get it. And it's an Iron Maiden live album. They sound great. and they play a few from the Final Frontier, and as happens a lot with the albums I don't care about, even with Shinjuku, when I saw them live, it was like, well, those songs, kind of out of context, just like a few of them sprinkled in the set, they work well. It's just kind of as the album, I didn't care about it. But yeah, there's quite a few from the Final Frontier on here, and then all the things you would expect. So in vivo, I'm sure if you want it, you have it, or I'm not going to be talking anyone into buying this. This isn't freaking Live After Death or anything, but I'm happy to have it. This is one that I was super happy to get, an Abstract Illusion. This is their first full length called Illuminate the Path, and they are a Swedish progressive / atmospheric death metal band, I guess I would say. I talked about them before. Their second full length, Woe, I just am in love with. And Steve from S&T Young had shown this and was talking about it, and that's what really got this band on my radar. This one on Discogs is either hard to get or expensive, and I went on the band's Bandcamp, and they're still selling copies of this. They are in Sweden. This is a self-released album, and I was like, okay. It was a little expensive, but I'm kind of in that mode now where I'm like, dude, this is something I really want. Isn't it worth 2 times the price of like a shitty cutout bin thing that I don't really care that much about? So I bought it. I think it took about a month to get like a shipping notice for it, like long enough that I was like, oh, well, they just left that up by accident and I'm never going to get it. But eventually it did ship, and eventually it did get here, and it's great. I don't like it as quite as much as Woe, but still that great combination of progressive death metal, very instrumentally just very good. Like the instrumental passages are kind of my favorite part of this. Just so melodic and inventive, and this one finishes with a windier cover, which is really cool. So if you are into an Abstract Illusion, I would suggest it's worth the extra money to order this from the band on their Bandcamp. I'll leave a link to it. But if you don't want to, shell out for that, and you haven't heard Woe yet, Woe I think is a bit better. Go check out Woe. That's on Willow Tip. What else we got here? By Fire and Sword, Glory. This is a U.S. band. They previously had an EP that I picked up and really enjoyed it. Very, very traditional metal sounding. I guess a little doomy leaning here and there. Clean vocals. The EP I thought I just assumed they were a Christian band. Just the lyrics and whatnot. I guess I didn't quite get the joke that they're not. Because this one is way more over the top. Like, it's Christian to the point of being absurd, and talking about the vocalist is a preacher, and how he loves everybody, even the sinners, and he will weep while you're burning in hell because you didn't listen to him, but he's sorry that you have to suffer, but in the end it was your fault, kind of those kind of things. Very much like Mansion, but Mansion is more serious. This one seems to be a bit more satirical. Maybe the difference between the American and the Finnish approach to this, but the songs on this are incredible. If you're into traditional type metal, I definitely would recommend it. Awesome riffing and really good vocals. So this is on No Remorse. I got this from Nameless Grave during their sale, so they may still have copies, I'm not sure. But yeah, by Fire and Sword, really enjoyed that one. This is a very strange one. It is supposed to be a split between Ildjarn and Hate Forest, and it is called Those Once Mighty Fallen. It came out originally in 2015. This, I believe, is a reissue. When this came out, I was kind of unsure about even what it was. The Hate Forest material says it was recorded in like 2000 to 2001 and then restored, whatever that means. And it is quite it says restored in 2012. Kind of mysterious as to where these recordings came from. We'll start with Hate Forest first because that's the least hard to describe. It's like an intro and 4 songs. It's very, very good. It's very Hate Forest, of that kind of mid-period Hate Forest. If you don't know, Hate Forest is a project of Roman from Drudka and 1,000 other projects, basically. Windswept is one of my favorites. If you're a Hate Forest fan, if you have not heard this, I would definitely recommend it. It fits right in with the Hate Forest sound we know and love from those days. Since they've come back, those comeback albums I've not been that into, but this era I'm still down with. Down with. Oh my god. Trevor just said bump, and now I said down with. I don't know what's going on. We're getting brainworms. So the controversial part of this one. Oh, by the way, this is on Osmos. The Ildjarn side. They're not Ildjarn songs. They are songs written by his sometime collaborator Nidhogg, who has done albums with Ildjarn, and then I think he did one album on his own. But he has come out and said that these are his songs, but they're not his recordings. Like, they got somebody else to re-record them. I don't understand. Like, why would they do that? But I mean, the songs are cool. I didn't really enjoy that side as well, and I didn't buy it for that side. Before I did any research, I was listening to it. I was like, this does not sound like the Ildjarn that I know, like kind of the more out there, atmospheric, obscure, experimental stuff. But yeah, whatever name you put on it is good music. So buy it for the Hate Forest, stay for the not Ildjarn. Those Once Mighty Fallen. Definitely recommended. And then the last one I'm going to show off here. I was going to save this for if I ever do Simon's contest video. But this is the latest release from the Mighty Nunslaughter. The Devil's Congeries Volume 5. And if you can see, there's a little goat dude up there. And a little weenie down there, in case you're into that. So this series is a continuing compilation series of all of Nunslaughter's non-album material, which, if you go take a look at their Metal Archives page, is pages and pages and pages and pages. So this version is a 3 CD, 1 DVD set. Strangely, this one, only the first disc is previously released material. So I'll show you the booklet here. They do a really good job, I think, of cataloging where all this stuff comes from. So you get a little write up about when it came out, who was on it, etc., recording stuff. And so that is the first disc, all these various EPs and splits they did. Mostly studio on the first disc, a couple live things. But then disc 2, live at Burnt Ramen in Richmond, California. So a full show there, and then a rehearsal from the Burn the Cross sessions. Strangely, while the live in Richmond, California set is well recorded and easy to hear everything, there are just assholes screaming at the top of their lungs in the crowd, just being dicks, and kind of like, it seems like making fun of the band. And I was kind of like, why would you release that? But it's their collection, right? They can do what they want. Disc 3 is live at the upper level in Cleveland. Another full-ish set. It's a bit shorter. The problem with this one is it sounds fucking awful. And then there's digital, I don't know if it was recorded onto like a mini disc or something. There's digital feedback and stuff on it that, like, it sounds like a bad disc or like a bad rip. But the digital version that I got with this and the CD, they sound the same. So it's a flaw in the recording. Again, I was like, I don't know. You don't really need to include this. I know some former members have talked about not agreeing with Nunslaughter releasing every burp and fart the band ever did, but that's what they like to do. So, and then the last thing on here is a rehearsal for the Japan tour in 2005. that's really cool. There's a lot of talking in between the songs, and you can hear the guys talking about what's working and what's not and stuff like that. So that's really fun. And then DVD from live in Denver, Colorado, from two shows, April 11th, 2008, and April 12th, 2008. Again, this is not high fidelity, high def recording or anything. It's kind of like a homemade recording, but it's two shows from Nunslaughter. So if you're into Nunslaughter, you'll probably enjoy it. So yeah, while I don't think this is the strongest the strongest entry in this series, it's like $18 for three CDs and a DVD, and the first disc is worth that alone. So buy it for that. Stay for the rest if you care. And that's it, you guys. Keith, I want to thank you once again, and another cheers to you with the Marmite. Let's go. I feel like it starts strong, and then the longer you have it in your mouth, it's diminishing returns, but we'll see. All right, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. And as always, CM Punk is a piss baby. Later.